So
Hello.
we're fixing our hair.
What is it? I don't know what's
I don't-
happening.
This is my friend Kayla.
Hey guys. Hello.
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 And I asked her to be on the song story video today because we're talking about You Are My Grace, which is the song that I wrote for her and her husband Matt and their wedding day.
So
and
sweet.
So I asked her if she would kind of tell just a little bit about their story, because it's not my story to tell. I can tell you, some of the things that the Lord kind of showed me as I was writing it, but it's really more their story. So,
Take it away.
take it away, girl.
So first and foremost, Kristen is, as you probably already know, one of the most amazing people ever. And so she is a huge part, I feel like, of our relationship, Matt, my husband, and I. Like, of just us growing together and, like, her being a part of, like, our lives and such a good friend. And so she's more like fam. So she does know a lot of our story and could share it, but she's so sweet to ask me to come and share some of that. We really were just blessed by her saying that she would come and sing at our wedding, and little did we know that she was writing a song for us. And so as we meet up, like, I don't know, when did we start meeting up, like, every week? When was that?
Was it like 2 years ago?
2 years ago, maybe?
Something.
That would have
Something
been,
like
like, right around the time that Matt and
What
what is happening with hair? Do you know? We don't know. Anyway, it's fun. It's fun. Hair. The Hair Chronicles. So, I remember, like, just sharing with her a lot of, like, the things that I was learning, with dating Matt, and, then, of course, being engaged to Matt and going through that whole, like, process and realizing just how sweet, the Lord was to bless me with him. I felt super undeserving, still feel that way, just the way that the Lord, like, gives us good gifts and gives us really sweet things that we don't even realize that we, like, need in people, and he gifts us with those good things. And so I was talking to Kristen about just how thankful I was for Matt and kind of overwhelmed at the way that the Lord loves us, and how he uses Matt to, like, challenge me and grow me, and as a tool to, like, transform me, and to love me, to show me, like, what love is and what love does. Which cue the story of Matt and our engagement. Do you want to talk about that? I should talk about that. Okay.
I wasn't there.
But I should. Well, she knows so much.
It's okay. It's fine.
So, Matt and I were reading a book when we were dating called Love Does
By Bob Goff.
Bob Goff, our sponsor here today, is Bob
Yes.
Goff. I'm joking, he's really not, but
I know.
that would be amazing, wouldn't it? So anyway, Matt and I were reading this book, and it was a really, really sweet book of just how, like, love does, and how it encourages us to love people really, really well. And so anyway, Matt had taken me camping. Technically, it was just like glamping, because we were in a yurt, and so he actually proposed right as we had finished the book Love Does. We were, like, overlooking the sunset, and it was beautiful, and the lake. Because love does. Yes.
You finish it.
It does.
And you get on
And then he gets on one knee. And it was wonderful. It was super, super sweet. So, like, we were starting out, like, our engagement with, like, this really, really sweet, just, like, message. And we knew we wanted to get married pretty quickly. And I had been talking with Kristen about, like, just like all the emotions of planning a wedding and feeling like, wow, this is a lot. And also Matt and I had been like going through some shifts and changes like in jobs and just things, and so it was a lot. And so I would talk with Kristen quite often about these things. What is this? What?
There it is.
So, we were talking about how just like sweet the Lord is to give us good gifts, and she blurted out,
He's your grace.
Yeah.
And so we like we were eating, and like that's what happened.
That's what happened. We eat and talk a lot.
And and we were both like, wow, like, because it just kind of flew out of my mouth. Like, it wasn't one of those things I had thought about before. And I knew, like, in that moment, I wanted to write them a song and call it You Are My Grace. And so I guess I can pick up from where okay, so the song, it was kind of interesting because I didn't, like, a lot of times when I'm writing a song, I have, like, in my head what I want it to sound like and what I want it to be like. And the way that it was coming together was not at all what I thought it was going to be. And I knew there was a few things that I knew. I wanted the end of the chorus to say, like, You Are My Grace. And I knew I wanted to have the words love does in there. And I wanted to, like, add certain terms that Kayla and I had talked about. And just that I know, like, she uses, because, technically it was, like, I'm writing this song from her perspective as, like, a wife. And so one day we were at lunch, and she starts telling me about how they didn't have a first dance song. And so I started telling her, I was like, well, I'm writing this song, and I keep feeling like it's a first dance song, because it wasn't, I was expecting it to be, like, a song that she walks down the aisle to, or that we just play, or, like, something, like, but it was the tempo of it, and the things like Take My Hand, and Pull Me Close, like, like, it was more of a first dance song. And so I just told her, that that's what was happening. And so, but I told her, I was like, but I want you guys to hear it before I play it. That way you can tell me if you hate it. And so,
not possible.
It could be.
No.
So, like, about a month before their wedding, I came over and sat on their couch and played the song for them. And they didn't hate it. So
no,
that was good.
The opposite of hated it. We loved it. It was super sweet. So Matt sat where Kristen is sitting now, and I sat here, and she sat over there. And just so you know, the placement of where we were.
Right.
And she played the song for us, and afterwards, I think, we just sat over here and held hands, and, like, we just cried, because not only, like, all of the emotions and things, but, like, of just the season, but, like, I guess for me, knowing that it was that much sweeter that she wrote it for us, and that the Lord had enabled her with this sweet, sweet gift of, writing songs, and then also just the angel voice that she has. But knowing that, like, she was also such a sweet friend and, like, supporting us in this. And, so we sat over here and, like, just bawled like small toddlers, I guess. And just really, really appreciative. And we knew, like, we wanted her to sing it as our first dance song. And we already knew that, like,
out.
Yeah, it worked out really well. And it was super, super sweet, because at the wedding, it just made it that more special, and, like, that much better.
I got choked up, of course.
Oh.
I couldn't look at them.
Well, and I, like, looked over at her as she's, like, singing it, and then I think we locked eyes. I think
that
we both
was a terrible
got choked up.
idea.
It was a terrible idea,
guys.
And Matt was like, don't look at her.
Bad idea.
So,
bad idea.
It was really, really sweet, though.
Mm-hmm.
It was so, so good. Yeah. It was really good. And so, I guess, like, too, part of the reason that it was really sweet is because I knew that, like, historically I'd made really, like, not good decisions with boys. And life, just period.
All of us.
Yeah.
All of us have.
Yeah, but like knowing the way the Lord just like worked in all of this and kind of the icing on the cake. We're talking about wedding cake, pun intended, but also it wasn't initially, but there we are. But like icing on the cake was having like Kristen just sing about like how Matt was like by grace and how the Lord like just displayed that through him and how undeserving I am of that. Like the Lord still loves and pursues us and shows us grace. And it's so sweet. It's so good. And so it's just like full circle, like beautiful thing. To have it and to know that those lyrics are like also something that we can like look back on and sing.
Yeah.
Off pitch for me. But it's really sweet, and thanks for doing it and writing this song.
Girl.
And being so great.
Yes.
And being so wonderful.
Girl, let me just tell you, Kayla, I call her my unicorn friend sometimes. Today,
this happened today.
Because she's a rare friend, and I'm really thankful for her. She's my joy friend too. She just oozes joy, and I'm way funnier around her. So
you're funny
because I'm around you.
No, like you're
like
always funny.
you don't know me when I'm around other
That's
people.
I wouldn't have been there, but like
I'm way funnier.
She's funny.
Yeah. So it's just a sweet friendship, and I'm really thankful for it.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that's like the story behind You're My Grace. And anyway, I hope you guys have a great night, and we'll talk to you later.